I'm Robert Bell, and we're here with WTA members, friends, and colleagues at the IBC 2014 show, looking at the vast changes taking place in the media and entertainment industry and how those are going to shape the future for teleport operators worldwide.
We have a number of clients that are in the satellite sector. We have a number of clients that are in the terrestrial sector. And as you see in a lot of other industries as well, consumers are looking for variety. They're looking for flexibility of options, flexibility of their deliverables, and of what they're able to monetize as well. So we're certainly seeing that there's an awful lot of our customers that are, for example, satellite customers that are moving into fiber, simply because it provides them more pricing options, more delivery options, and as well as to make sure that they can continue to remain sticky with their customers and that they have a place where they can go to get that. We're seeing the same thing also with fiber companies as well. Also, to that same point, we have an awful lot of customers that have engaged for a long time strictly in long-term contracts, and they're looking for better ways to optimize their capacity and to be able to monetize it as well. So they're now looking at models for OU. Everybody's working on occasional use, ad hoc scheduling, and the ability to be able to take this capacity that may just have been nailed up for months, if not years, and to be able to parcel it out and to be dynamic in terms of how it's allocated and how it's used so that they can optimize their use of it. Well, you know, for schedule, I'll take the second part first. For schedule, it's fairly straightforward. Obviously, we serve those industries, and we have for some time. But because of the fact that we're already enmeshed in some of these organizations as their expert partners, it gives us the ability to help guide them through these transitions. We have organizations, for example, that are terrified of occasional use. I have to now create call centers. I have to now set up all kinds of infrastructure in order to do that. And Schedule as a product essentially gives you that out-of-the-box experience. It's a starter kit, if you will, to fast-track your entry into that marketplace so that you can start to be more competitive with the people who are already expert at it, and so that you can start to optimize your revenue in order to be able to bring in that level of revenue, in order to bring in those revenue sources. But as far as the industry in general is concerned, it has to do with what it is always, and I think what we've spoken about on many times in the past. The fact is that margins are constrained these days. That is more and more difficult to make the money that you need to. You have cost issues that you need to control as well. Any way that you can squeeze more revenue out of what your capability is something that every organization needs to be looking at, and every organization seems to be looking at as we speak. So that's what brings us back to this whole idea of being able to have all of these additional offerings in your toolkit to give to your customers that allow them to be able to stay with you, spend more money with you, and to optimize the capacity that you may already have without expanding, just in terms of using it smarter. Well, that also goes into this whole issue of how do I optimize my ability to offer capacity. We have had for some time partnerships with various of the terrestrial providers for network management systems, people like NetInsight and Evertz and Miranda, now Grass Valley, of course. And what that allows us to provide for our customers is this ability to allow their business control system to drive their equipment, to be able to change bandwidth dynamically on the fly. We have an awful lot of organizations that are not able to get their network engineers to run around in between transmission feeds and do all of the complex changing. By interfacing with these control systems, we're able to do that automatically, dynamically, based on the business bookings. We're now also expanding that into the satellite world as well, because again, the equipment is obviously different, The technology is obviously different from our end past, but the requirements are exactly the same. How can I more effectively make use of my unused capacity? And by doing this automatically, by using systems like ComTech EF or iDirect or UTech, all of those allow you the same capability we've been doing in the terrestrial world as well. And we're also working with organizations, of course, like Skyline with Data Miner that serves as that sort of abstracted middle layer that again gives you this ability to completely automate this whole provisioning process from beginning to end. You make your business booking, everything else just happens automatically, and if it means that you need to change your settings in between transmissions because of the fact that you have different requirements, the system takes care of it for you. You don't have to rely on people in the middle to be able to do it, because that's usually where you say it's not worth the trouble, I don't have the staff, I don't have the resources, I can't do it. We now allow you to do it. We're finding that this show, this particular year, is particularly busy. I think, again, it has a lot to do with, certainly the IBC show has expanded over the course of the past few years in terms of additional halls and so forth. And I think that it all comes down to the fact that people are trying to grapple with increasingly complex problems. There's an awful lot of organizations out here with smart people, with smart solutions. We like to think that we're right up there with them, and I think that it bodes well, I think, for the future that that there's so many different approaches to solving problems that are with us. But it also tells us that we have an awful lot of more complex issues and complex problems that we're still trying to grapple with. And so I think you look at shows like IBC and you see the activity and the energy around this, and it's clear that people have problems, but they have good problems to have.